The plastic crisis. Plastic pollution facts. We have a serious plastic crisis that is threatening our world and health. Our air, soil, and oceans are being polluted by plastic due to low recycling rates and microplastics. This pollution is not just devastating the less wealthy areas, such as the Asian and African nations. It is also affecting the wealthy nations as well. A 2017 study stated globally we have produced 6.3 billion metric tons of plastic, and only 9% was recycled, and 79% of the plastic was sent to landfills and the environment. This massive plastic pollution affects us globally. A large part of the cause of the plastic crisis is that globally we produce 380 million tons of plastic a year. Only around 9% of this plastic can be recycled at this time. The problem is that petroleum-based plastic is not biodegradable. It is not degrading. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller tiny particles known as microplastics. And all those pieces of plastic will end up in our landfills or littered into our oceans. Communities and resources that are prominently affected by plastic injustice. Plastic prominently affects marginalized communities that live close to plastic production and waste sites. Oil refineries that extract the oil to make plastic cause deforestation. Fracking contaminates our water, causing displacement of indigenous peoples. African American communities that live near oil refineries in the United States Gulf of Mexico have serious health problems that have been caused by toxic pollution from these industries. We need to ban single-use plastic and expand recycling. There are 8.1 billion people in the world, and we all use plastic. If we reduce our use, we can make a serious change. 50% of all plastic produced per year, which is 190 million tons, is for single-use purposes, meaning that 190 million tons of plastic is just used for minutes and then thrown away, taking 400 years to break down into microplastic. Countries that are taking action. The United States used to send its recycling to China. However, in March of 2018, China stopped buying plastic recycling completely. Malaysia and Indonesia stepped up and refused to take other countries' waste as well due to the pollution on their prestigious beaches. As of July 2021, single-use plastics have been banned from Europe. If we don't fix this crisis, it will just get worse. If we don't do something to fix this crisis, we will end up with 250 million metric tons of plastic in our oceans in around 10 years. And in 2050, we will have more plastic than fish in our oceans. This pollution damages millions of people's livelihoods, food production, wildlife, and natural processes. The solution to this crisis is to lessen plastic production and consumption. We need to use more reusable items, recyclable plastic, or more environmentally friendly materials. Using alternative plastics as fast as possible is a step in the right direction. We need a systematic transformation to a circular plastic economy. This is where plastic that is produced is kept in the economy at its highest value for as long as possible. Laws stopping environmental injustice. The UN member states agreed on a resolution to end plastic pollution in 2022. An intergovernmental negotiating committee is producing a legally binding instrument on plastic pollution, which will be finalized this year, 2024. United States lawmakers have reintroduced legislation that would ban mass single-use plastic. The Break Free from Plastic Pollution Act, 2023. Science research. Scientists are researching and experimenting with alternative methods to reduce the amount of plastic in the world. There have been some recent studies with plastic and styrofoam eating bacteria and worms. They have had some pretty successful plastic research. Ways to develop a thriving circular plastic economy. Creating roads out of microplastic is a great way to reduce the amount of plastic that goes into our oceans. Mechanical systems have been invented to reduce the amount of plastic that ends up in our oceans. These litter interceptors can be effective at picking up large pieces of plastic, such as foam cups and food containers, from inland waters. The only problem is they don't pick up the microplastic pieces. Fossil fuel corporations are looking towards plastic as their major growth market. The reason we are in a plastic crisis is because fossil fuel industries are planning to expand their production of plastics. The fossil fuel industry is teaming up with the chemical industry and is planning on producing 10 million metric tons of growth in petrochemicals such as plastics yearly. How plastic was developed. The development of plastic comes from fossil fuels and is only a little over a century old. Plastic began to be produced in large quantities following the Second World War. The inventors found its lightweight, durable material to be useful for anything. It has revolutionized medicine with life-saving devices, made space travel possible, and made equipment for clean drinking water. Our planet is slowly dying if we are constantly polluting it. The environmental, social, economic, and health risks outweigh the universal benefits of plastic. For instance, it's altering habitats, reducing ecosystems' ability to adapt to climate change, and poisoning our bodies with toxic chemicals. We no longer need to support the fossil fuel industry if they are unwilling to upgrade to plant-based biodegradable plastic. As a global society, we can fix this plastic problem. As a society, we can fix this plastic problem. It's obvious that we need to use less plastic, move towards environmentally sustainable products, services, and come up with technology that recycles plastic more effectively. Fight against environmental injustice by supporting Greenpeace, Natural Resource Defense Council, and UN Environment Program. Call Congress about plastic pollution. Call your congressional representative about environmental issues. In New Mexico, our representative is Teresa Fernandez. Support Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi. She is leading a congressional delegation to the United Nations Climate Change Conference. We need to work together to stop this plastic crisis. No one really wants to consciously destroy the planet or poison ourselves or the land. We all want a better future for our children. We need to work together to figure out how to stop climate crime.